Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our LT Senior Services webinar for June. We're so excited to have you here today. We're super excited to have some great speakers that are going to be talking about products that can help you live in your home longer and smarter. But before we do that, we've got some things that we'll go through, just some steps for our webinar, but we wanted to welcome you. My name is Cindy Cummings. I am one of the founders of LT Senior Services. I'm also a real estate agent in the Austin area. I work for Realty Austin, and I have an ancillary business called Turnkey Transitions, which helps with move management. And I just am one of the people who will help in this whole cog get things going. We have a great webinar, like we said today, and we're super happy that you're here. The first thing that we'd like to do is introduce other members of LT Senior Services. This is our 2020 directory, but we have a 2021 directory. We have about 40 members in our group. And one of the things that the group does is we provide educational opportunities such as this webinar. We have some additional webinars and events that are going to be coming up. One of them is a bus tour. We've got a bus tour. We actually did this last year, or not last year, but the year before. And what we do is we visit senior living communities. We have 3 different locations that we're going to be visiting. One is in the Lakeway area, one is in South Austin, and the other is in Pflugerville and Round Rock. What we'll do is we take a bus and we go and we visit senior living communities. It's very low key, not salesy, it's really educational. And what we try to do is visit a variety of different types of senior living communities. So we intend on visiting independent living and assisted living. We may talk about memory care. We probably won't visit memory care. And it could be that we add in a 55 plus apartment. So those are coming up September 20th, October 18th, and November 15th. If you're not on our email distribution list, please let us know and we'll let you know more about that. The other event that we have coming up is the Aging Well Expo. It is September 27th. We have 17 exhibitors already for this event, so we're super excited for it. The exhibitors will be there to provide information about products that can help serve you to make your life healthier and to help you keep well. So we're excited about that. It's from 9 to 12. We have vendors, and then we also have speakers. We have a speaker who'll be talking about Medicare changes for 2022, shocking. We also will have a panel of doctors from Baylor Scott and White, and they'll be talking about secrets of aging well, and who doesn't want to have that information. So that's going to be our panelist. And then next we have our speakers from today. We'll be talking about interesting technologies for aging in place. We also will have a complimentary lunch after all of this, and it's provided by Arbor Terrace, and they are located in Lakeway. So super excited about all that. We're going to have great door prizes, goodie bags, and we'll finally be able to see everybody in person. So today we have added a new feature, which you'll see at the bottom, which provides what do you call it? A teleprompt. So it's pretty cool that you're able to also see everything typed in. We do have clients who want to participate who are deaf, but it also helps just to read along the bottom if maybe you can't understand what the speaker is saying. Hopefully the person who's doing the interpretation for us will work well too. So that gives you some additional information about LT Senior Services. We also just held a really great event. It was a tax exemption event, and we'll hold another one. And what we were trying to do is help people make sure that they're getting the proper property tax exemptions for their home so that they can help save money and stay in their home longer. So be looking for another event. We'll be partnering with some other nonprofits in the area for our next one. We're super, super, super excited about that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce some of our LT senior.
Cindy?
Yes.
Really quickly, everyone is not seeing your video.
Oh, everyone is not seeing my video. I can see my video. Well, let's work on that while Karen's talking. Karen, okay. Can you come in and say hey, and then I'll be working on my video in the background. Hey, Karen, it's great to see you. I see some signs up around the library that you have some limited services going on. Tell us what's going on with the library right now.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Thank you for Cindy and Natalie for doing the webinars. The library is open now for limited services. So we have a banner there. And basically what that means is it's limited hours. So right now the library just extended their hours, but it's still limited. So we're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's different, and I'll tell you in a minute. Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then on Wednesdays, it's 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we have one evening, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., and the rest is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can come in, and we're just asking that you try and limit your stay if you can, but we're not, keeping time or anything. And then you can come in and grab books and check out. We also have newspapers, and newspapers just started getting delivered. So you're welcome to look at that. And we have a few computers that you could use, and printing and copying and scanning, but not everything. So that's why it's a little bit limited, but still we're very, very happy to see patrons in the library right now. And we're also doing all programming is still on Zoom. So if you can join a Zoom session like this, you can also join a Zoom session like that the library is having. We still have speakers, we have book clubs, we have story times happening. We've got every Thursday this summer is in June and July is a special performer. So this week on Thursday at 2 p.m. is Lucas Miller, the singing zoologist. So we love to say that it's for all ages. It's not just for kids. So yeah, we'd love to see you at the library, either virtually or in person. And thank you all for supporting us.
Thank you, Karen. I know my daughter was going on a holiday and she came in to rent one of your hotspots and they were all rented. But what a great thing that you just provide so many services. It's really just ask and it's likely the library knows or they can help you out. So
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
it's so great to see you, Karen. Okay, we're going to have you go away. Are there any other members of LT Senior Services that would like to say hello before we begin today? We'll just wait for a second. And then Natalie, I just want to confirm that you can see the video and hear me.
I do not see any more members, and I'm getting word that we can see you now.
Okay, great. I don't know, maybe it's good not to see me. I really don't like being on the videos, but what are you going to do? Okay, so let me just give you some technology hints. As you go towards the bottom, you're going to see some helpful hints, and then the view. A lot of people like to look at the view in speaker view. So that's a recommendation if you want to do that. So you'll see the speaker and you'll see their presentation too. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Alex and Jana to come on board. We're going to go ahead and read a small introduction. Hey guys, good to see you.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about current products and technology features that enhance a home's safety and accessibility. Agent in place occupational therapists review each products in detail, including price, installation, how to use, and benefits of each. So Jana, let me just introduce you to everybody. Jana is a native Texan and she's an official Austinite. She obtained her BA in advertising from Texas Tech University in 2008. Since then, Jana has worked in a variety of nonprofit rehabilitation programs, including community rehabilitation, vocational rehabilitation, and physical medicine and rehabilitation. Jana found her passion for occupational therapy, assisting patients regain the skills needed for independent living. Jana obtained her MS in occupational therapy from Texas Women's University in Dallas, Texas in 2016. She's a certified aging in place specialist. It's called CAPS through the National Home Builders Association, and she's following her passion of guiding individuals to living independently in their home. And boy, Jana, do I hear over and over and over again that people want to stay in their home. So you are a specialist and you do lots of other things. We're going to learn about that more, but we're so happy that you're here today. Her partner is Alex, and Alex is a native of Russia who spent 7 years in DC and the Maryland area before relocating to Austin in 2016. And Alex obtained her BS and MS in health studies prior to relocating to the US and pursued her MS in occupational therapy from Townsend University in Baltimore, Maryland. Alex served as a volunteer for Rebuilding Together Baltimore, where she gained home assessment and modification skills. During her professional career, Alex worked in a variety of settings, including acute rehab hospitals, psychiatric facilities, and long-term care facilities. Alex is a certified aging in place specialist, caps through the National Home Builders Association and is an assistive technology professional who strives to create personalized solutions for independence. So welcome, Alex and Jana.
Thank you.
So one of you will be sharing your screen, I believe, that has the PowerPoint presentation. So feel free to pull that up. And really one of the first questions I have is, who will set up assistive technology in your home?
Well, how that starts is we come in and we do an assessment and we kind of get to know the client and see what they need. And for some things, we can set it up. There are times where we may need a handyman or an electrician or somebody else, just kind of depending on the scope of work. So the main thing that we can do is definitely get the process started and do a full assessment and see, what kind of products you would need. And then we can go from there.
And the good thing, Janet, is that you might have a product idea and it might require, somebody to come in, but you're going to be there helping people to understand it, help them learn it, help them get it set up. You're not going to leave them in a lurch, say, hey, go to Home Depot and get this item. You're going to help them all along the process.
For sure. We can help them order it. We can maybe help them install it. If we need an electrician to come in, then we would come in afterwards and we can train them on using the product, which could be a few sessions. It could be several sessions. So training is what we do, and that's just kind of our profession, and it helps you become independent, and we consider that medical necessity. So that's how we do it.
I know I make a list of technology issues that I have, and then when my daughter comes over, she helps me with stuff. So and I know when she walks in the door, she's like, what are you going to have me figure out today? So
Right.
It's nice to have a third-party person, where you're not depending on family or neighbors, to handle it. You've got that professional that will be kind and help you get through the process and won't judge you.
For sure. And we will communicate through the whole process, and we make goals, and we kind of, chop those goals up into, maybe there's one big goal, but we're going to chop it up into 5 little goals to get there. And so, we can go over those. Okay, we've almost met this goal. We got to get to the next one. So
we can do it.
Yeah. So I think having it clear like that, and, everybody likes goals for themselves to accomplish things. And once you accomplish them, and then it gets, comfortable, and then you can say, I can do this. I can have technology and it's not going to be scary and I can do it. So that's kind of what we're here for.
That's great. And sometimes you buy stuff and you just leave it in a box because you get overwhelmed. So
Yeah.
It's nice to know you have some, I'm going to call it hand holding, which I'll take all day long.
Yeah.
Jana, did you want to go through your PowerPoint, or should I ask questions, or how did you want to handle the presentation right
I
now?
think let's go through the PowerPoint and
Okay,
then
very good.
let's go through some questions, because I
Great.
think there'll be more.
Great.
So we're Enabled Living. Cindy did a great introduction for us. We are not affiliated with any of these products today. We're not getting any compensation. We're just reviewing these. And again, if we did come into your home, we would pick products that are based on the needs that you have. So in our occupational therapy world, we have technology into 2 different categories. High-tech technology is kind of what we're going to be going over today. So that could be anything from setting your home to be a smart home, remote controlled lights, remote controlled door locks, platform lifts, chair lifts, electronics to help with feeding, water picks, certain kinds of lighting that can help you be more independent and prevent falls. Really, lighting is such a useful tool that can help us not fall in our home. Some of our low-tech technology is grab bars, shower chairs, your basic, plastic pill organizers, reachers, raised toilet seats, things that kind of can just help you in your home. to be safer. So we're not going to go over low tech today, but if we ever did come in your home and we decided you could benefit from some low tech items, we would definitely, recommend that and help you order those things.
So as we dive into high tech, we want you guys to bear in mind that people who create high tech, they don't try to make it complicated. They want to meet users where they are. And most of us are people without degrees in computer science, without special education. We are just average people who want to be able to use those things in our homes and want to learn to use those things within a reasonable amount of time. So they create them to be as user-friendly as possible. They can look intimidating, they are new, they have new features, but bear in mind, the learning curve is not as steep as we typically expect it to be. Amazon Echo and Google Home, probably all of you heard about this, saw it, a lot of it probably have those devices. The best thing about it, it's voice activated. And over the past 10 years, the voice activation technology changed so much. It started with voice to text. That's where it came to be for those people who could not type. And 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had to teach those people how to speak so a computer could recognize their voice. And we ran into problems where they had to speak differently. Right now, you could use your voice, whatever voice you have, and the chances are it will recognize it. And you can use it to control lights. You can control your door lock, and you can order to unlock the door if somebody comes to your door. If you wish to have that function, you can set a reminder for yourself, alarm, timer for your kitchen. You can call your loved ones by simply asking it. You can ask about the weather and the forecast. It will provide you with directions. You can use it in a car, daily routines. It also provides games and music. So it offers a degree of entertainment. The amount of skills that Alexa and Google Home provide, I just activated mine, it expands every day. So, and what we can offer you, we can see what are your specific needs, and we can add it to repertoire of yours and not have the ones that you don't want. And it can have alarms, but it does not have to be activated when you don't want it activated.
I have a question for you of the Alexa and the Google.
Absolutely.
Which would you recommend of the two?
Amazon currently has more skills available. And in general, it has, just because more devices such as door locks, such as light bulbs are compatible with the Amazon version, it's easier and cheaper to have the whole bundle set up than people who have Android phones in general prefer Google.
Okay.
Again, compatibility issue only. And Cindy, since you're asking that, I'm thinking our listeners might have questions. Can we offer people to ask questions in the chat? And
Yes, we've got the chat up so people can, so far there's nothing in there. But I
Yeah.
know for me, I'm kind of like, well, how do I decide, which? So it sounds like if you have an Android, maybe go with Google. And then if you have Apple products, then maybe go with Amazon. And is Amazon Alexa?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I kind of learned to avoid using the A word because it's usually near me, and soon as I say that, it activates it. But again, you don't have to call it Alexa. You can call it something else. You can reset it to call it something else. But yes, the availability of other products, light bulbs, thermostats, door locks that are compatible with the Amazon one is just a wider variety.
Well, one of our participants did ask who will help you set it up, and that's exactly what y'all do. You guys will help, determine what is the right product, and then you'll help set it up. And
this one we can set it up. We do not have to get into your house wiring for that.
Right,
we do not
right.
have to get into your outlets for that.
Right.
We can unscrew and screw a new light bulb. So we don't have to be an electrician for that reason.
Right.
So we can.
Somebody is asking how safe they are, and that's one of my questions too. And one of the reasons why I don't have one, because I kind of feel like they listen to you, and are they taking the information and using it? And maybe you have some feedback about that, either to squelch that fear that we have that somebody's listening and taking our information and sharing it.
I'm afraid I cannot completely squelch that fear. And me and Jana were just talking about it. And it's not just the device, it's our cell phones that can be a concern as far as what are they listening to and what kind of information they collect. When we do sign the agreement, when we install, the agreement says that the device is not supposed to be collecting any information when it's not activated. So
Okay.
legally, the device is not supposed to be recording when not active,
Okay.
unless you choose otherwise.
Okay.
You choose the settings where you wanted to respond to any kind of, they have some new system where it responds to like home invasion. When you don't use it for security reasons, it is not supposed to be recording.
Okay.
Or when you're not using it to watch your pets when you're not home, it is not supposed to be recording.
Okay. Somebody is asking, what is the contact information for Alex? We'll share all that, Cheryl, in the chat. We'll have all the information for how you can contact them. Somebody is saying here, I'm interested in Alexa controlling locks. We have stairs and it'd be great to have the lock and unlock door. Have you seen clients use that feature when they have the Alexa?
I'm one of them.
You have one of them?
Yes, I am one of them. You can
Yes.
have Alexa control your door lock, or you can have your phone. You can
Okay.
have an app on your phone where you can lock and unlock your door. So, which is convenient for people when they're upstairs and they want to let somebody in.
Yes, very convenient. Excellent. Well, people keep on asking questions and we'll interject and ask the questions, but those are some of the things that I've been wondering about, and one of the reasons why I don't have one yet. I have a ton of friends and clients who have them, but I'm just like, are they listening to my info? How will they use that? Not like I have that exciting of a life, but just a fear, I guess.
That's what I was thinking too, and I don't have that exciting of a life. And then again, we have cell phones.
Right.
We all
Okay.
have cell phones.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Next is a smart watch, which is the Apple Watch, the new 6 series. This can also kind of come in handy along with the Alexa. The Apple Watch, I have just I have it. Alex and I both have them. I'm so impressed with the new watch, especially. The features are pretty incredible. And I think it's kind of the new way of versus the medical alert necklaces. I feel this is a great alternative for you and maybe for your family members to not worry. The features are, they have an EKG application, which can alert for potential AFib, which a lot of my cardiac patients, I highly recommend this watch. Reminders are a gentle vibration of the watch. There is a fall alert feature on the watch. So it can detect a hard fall, and it will alert you. And if you do not respond to the watch within, I believe, 1 minute, it can alert 911 or a family member. So I feel like that's a great situation if you do take a hard fall and you're not able to get up and alert somebody. If you have that watch on, it will alert authorities for you, or you can alert somebody yourself. It does have a blood oxygen feature, so that's very handy. I keep it in my corner of the watch, so you can set up the face of your watch however you want to get whatever feature you want with easy access, if it's the EKG or the blood O2. It provides breathing notifications. So, it says, hey, it's time to take in some deep breaths. So you can take deep breaths for 1 minute, and it kind of just calms you down. And I need to get better about that. Sometimes I'm like, I don't have time for this. But it really, when I do it, I'm like, this is a good feature. It does have the emergency SOS or direct 911 call. It has a GPS tracker. So you can have a family member that's connected with your device have a GPS tracker. So in case something happens, they will know, if it's your spouse or your daughter or son, or they can, know where you are in case anything happens. There's maps and directions. So if you are driving and you have your maps on your smartphone, it will also be on your Apple Watch. And I really like that feature because when I'm driving, it'll give me that gentle vibration on the wrist to turn. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is my turn. So I personally like that, especially in today's traffic and things of that nature. It has the weather. So it's 90 degrees and sunny here today. I can see that very quickly. It's also a great workout tool. So it calculates your steps throughout the day. You can have workouts on the watch. So like there's an outdoor walk, there's an indoor cycle, which I just started. And there's all different kinds of things to track your biking or indoor walking. And you can start the exercise, and then that will calculate within your watch. So you can set goals for your watch and or for you. And if you want to try to get 5,000 steps a day or 10,000 steps a day, it will alert you where you're at if you want it to. So it's a really good thing to kind of also help you move your body. Another feature is you can call and text from your watch. So this is another important thing. I think if anybody ever takes a fall, you are able to call from your watch. You can call from your watch if your phone is nearby for no additional charge. If you want to call and text from your watch, if your phone is across town, you can pay $10 a month for that feature to do just everything solely from your watch. But if you want to, if your phone will always be nearby, you don't have to pay for that extra feature. So I know that's a lot of information, but it's, I think it's just a great great tool for seniors. I mean, young people are wearing them, but I think it's even better for seniors. So any questions?
Yes, we've got some.
Okay.
So which one of the 6 series would you recommend, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I know the newest series has all of these features. I like the big face. You can buy them by size.
Okay.
You know, you're doing so much on it, might as well get the bigger one. You know what I mean? And this is, I don't know if you can see, it doesn't take up, I've got a skinny arm too. It doesn't feel big. It's not heavy. It feels just fine, and you can get all sorts of neat little bands. I've got my cheetah band, but and you can get those, you know, off Amazon or at Target or wherever for much cheaper. You can get bands for $10. You know, the Apple bands are very expensive. I wouldn't, you don't have to get those. You can get all different kinds of bands, and I would just get the bigger face.
And do you get that from your phone carrier, or do you get it directly from Apple?
You can do either.
Okay. So
Costco
just
has them too.
what's that?
Costco.
Oh,
I got
Costco.
one from Costco.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Hey, on the breathing, does breathing recognize you have a need, or is it just preset to go off at a certain time?
It's just preset to go off at a certain time when you set it up.
Cool.
But for any
really-
of our COPD people, I mean, that's a great exercise to take in some deep breaths and purse lip breathing and things like that. So we can set it however much maybe your doctor wants you to do some breathing exercises.
Okay. Would it be covered under insurance then, do you think, or no?
No,
It's just
I wish.
but if you are wearing one of the, you know, remotes around your neck, you could give that up, and that normally has some kind of cost associated with it.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
usually like a $30 a month fee.
Okay.
Some differ. You have to charge it every night, your watch. So, you know, it's not something you sleep in, although I guess you could.
Yeah, it takes about 2 hours to charge. So
Yeah.
So you would just pick a time, maybe when you're sitting or something like that, to do the charging. I'm really interested in that fall feature, because that can be huge, especially if you're just, like you said, you're out in the garage or someplace else and you fall and you're not near your phone. To be able to get help is, I mean, that could be life and death for somebody.
It
So
really could. And we've had, you know, so many of our patients that had taken a hard fall and ended up laying there for almost a day, you know, and that's really scary, and it's not a good situation. So if you have this on and it detects a hard fall, it will call 911 automatically.
yeah, that's terrific. That alone could help pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see any other, let me just check. No other questions at this time. Well, let me see. Assume the need to have an Apple iPhone versus Android for the calling compatibility to work for calls and texts. So do you think that's right? If you have an Android, then you have the smartwatch, they may not communicate with each other.
I'm not sure about that. Alex, do you know?
they do not communicate as of right now, but Apple is heading towards compatibility with Android. Like the latest update in their software they released, they added FaceTime with Android. So give them a few months.
Yeah.
And it might work out. Somebody else is saying that the Samsung phone also does all the same features. So if you have an Android phone, the Samsung is better.
Yeah, the Samsung Watch.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably.
So again, it's just like a different brands. People
Yeah.
are either PC or they're Apple, you know, so if you're Samsung, then stick with the Android, it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's keep on going.
Here we go. iPhone. Same with the Android smartphone. Let's talk about smartphones. And again, if they're intimidating, then we need to talk about it. A smartphone should not be intimidating to anybody. They're called smartphones because the phone has to be smart. They have to be making your life easier, not harder. Multiple features can do multiple things for you. And if the screen layout, the brightness is overwhelming, the beauty of the smartphone that can all be adjusted and changed. So we can change the zoom, the cursor, the color, the contrast. It can read what's on the screen to you. It can magnify things to you. As far as the amount of apps that are available, again, we talked earlier about what it can control. It can control your lights. It can control your thermostat. It can control your door locks. It can control your alarm system at home. It can control your pet feeders now. So really with the accessibility features, here we're talking about the Apple iPhone, but the same thing with Galaxy, not even the most recent ones. Apple, I would say Model 8 and up, same with Galaxy 7 and up. All those features are available that are made for people, and the target is not just the seniors. The target is, we all have preferences. Some lights might be too bright for us and get annoying. Certain vibrations are annoying, sounds. It's made so we can customize it for the ease of use. So this is a type of technology that can make your life easier at home, and that can make it easier to control your home. And ideally, if you do choose to go with a smart home, this is your hub. That's where it all comes to, and that's where you can control it from and change the settings to all the little parts of your home. Do you have any questions about the phone? This thing we can talk about for an hour and not cover probably a little part of it.
One of the questions actually was about the smartphone. What is the life expectancy of a smartphone? How long do you think it will last?
It depends. So the big concern is the battery life. And there has been some lawsuits in regards to the latest software shortening the battery life, which should have stopped recently. But I believe iPhone 7 and 8 came out 3-4 years ago, and I consider them perfectly usable and perfectly up to date with the current apps. I do have several clients who have those phones that are 3-4 years old, and we don't have any issues or any need to update them.
So you don't have to run out and get a 12. You're okay with an older version for some of these features that you're talking about.
All of those features,
Mhm.
honestly. And the issues with battery life are not so much of a concern anymore as they were a couple of years ago.
Perfect.
When
Well,
we-
those are all the questions that we have in here.
Okay.
All right. We're going to talk about some lighting that is also super important. This is actually a motion sensor switch, and it is $20 at Home Depot. So what this does is when you walk into a room, your lights come on automatically. And then when you leave the room, after, I'm not exactly sure how long, probably 30 seconds to a minute, your lights will turn off. So this is a simple call to an electrician. They will just, or if you feel comfortable doing it yourself, you can. It's a simple change of the switches. So with this, we highly recommend this in areas like a bathroom. I know many of us get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and that becomes a thing, especially the older you get, and bathrooms are the #1 place for falls. So if we have a chance to have, automatic lighting in the bathroom, it would be great. And also at like entryways. So if somebody comes up on your porch, a light will automatically come on. I know that sometimes it's startling when in the middle of the night, or late at night when you have a visitor that you're not aware of. Maybe when you walk out into your garage, things where that can help you be safer. So you can put these in several parts of your home, but I love this because it's just, it's just a quick fix from an electrician, and it's just a switch, and it also saves on energy. So I think that's a great thing. Sometimes we forget to leave the lights on, and so you could maybe get some better energy bills. So any questions on that?
I don't see any questions in there.
Okay.
There is one question. You already answered about the life expectancy of the iPhones and Androids, but what about the smartwatches?
I would say it's probably the same as the phone.
Yeah, same thing. So as far as smartwatch, you have option like Fitbit. The benefit of the Samsung watch or the Apple watch, it does have more function. It does have the fall detection thing. The disadvantage is the charging thing, the battery life, just because it communicates with your phone so much, and the radio is what eats up the battery. But the battery itself, as long as you charge it every day, will last you 3-4 years. And it's pretty sturdy because it is made to be taken out to play sports, including contact sports, to withstand falls. And it's waterproof, so you can shower with it, you can swim with it. I think it's up to at least 5-6 feet, so you cannot dive with it, but you can certainly swim with it.
Great, thank you.
Lighting. This is easy lighting. Closet, stairs, kitchen cabinets. This one we chose is $29.99 for 6 lights, rechargeable batteries, which we do like. Some of the compatible lights have AA or AAA batteries that you do have to replace. A lot of them are motion sensor activated. These ones have remote control. You will appreciate those lights in your closets, small closets, not walk-in closets. We're talking about under your counters, those tiny little dark places where you tend to lose things. I have those lights on my stairway, and they're motion activated. So when I go up or down the stairs, usually like at dusk or when it gets dark, it does help. All in all, we do talk about lighting a lot here, and in general, lighting is a huge thing in fall prevention, and fall prevention is a big thing in occupational therapy and in rehab in general. We both spend some time in hospital, working in hospital and rehab, and we saw our fair share of falls, and the big majority of falls happen due to insufficient lighting. So we will preach time and time again, add lights, different levels, minimize shadows. So just one light, ceiling light, is not enough in most cases. If you have shadows, you need more lights. These lights can go under the cabinets. You can also put these lights, if they're motion sensor activated, under your bed frame. At night, when you put your feet down to go to the bathroom, it gets activated. It provides you some path and you can see where you're going. You can put your shoes on, your house slippers, if you wear them. And it makes your life a little bit easier. And if it makes your bathroom trip a little safer, you'll make us a lot happier.
What is that statistic, Alex? Because it's really, when you hear the statistic of when people fall, what the likelihood is that they can return home, it's
Yeah.
horrific, that number.
So 1 out of 3 adults that fall over 60 that sustain a hip fracture due to fall ultimately succumb to that hip complications of that hip fracture.
So it's not even just the passing away, which that's huge, but also just the change in their life, you know,
Yes.
because once you have some kind of injury like that, then to me, the party's kind of over, you know, so this is so inexpensive and it's not obtrusive and it's not going to make your house ugly. But yet it could help you to be able to stay in your home longer. It just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, fall is very expensive. It's very costly, and I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about your quality of life. I'm talking about you being able to stay at your home and not having to go to a nursing home, not being away from your family for extended period of time, being at rehab, not going through surgery, not going through pain, not having potential complications.
Mhm.
It makes a difference.
It
Prevention
does.
is the best thing you can do, the cheapest and the best thing you can do.
And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but just your in-home assessment that you do, let's just remember to talk more about that at the end and how you can help people to make sure their home is safe. So I don't see any questions from the lighting, so we'll just continue on.
All right, this is our reminder Rosie. This is, if people aren't totally ready to go fully high tech, a good start would be to get a reminder Rosie. So this device is used a lot in the low vision community. It is a clock and reminder system, and you can do the reminders yourself. So the voice will either be yours, or if you want it to be one of your kids, to say, "Hey, Dad, it's time to take your medicine right now," or whatever. Just it will be a personalized reminder. So you can set up 25 different reminders. It can double as an alarm clock. And it has daily, weekly, monthly, or by date reminders. So for somebody who is maybe just forgetful, maybe you've always been forgetful, or maybe things have changed. This is a really cool little device that you can basically set your day up to remind you to do things. A big thing that we do in occupational therapy is medication management. So one of the biggest and most important things is reminders to take your meds, and reminders to take your meds when the doctor wants you to take your meds is even more important. So there's many individuals who have morning meds and evening meds, or morning meds and noon meds and evening meds. And the time life of those meds is super important. So if you are needing to take a med at 9 a.m., but you're really taking it at 1 p.m., and then you're taking your other med at 5 p.m., that's too close together. And so it's really better for you to spread those out appropriately and to take them, when you're supposed to. So this is a personalized reminder. It comes in, I think, how many, 7 different languages in case anybody, 6 different languages. So you can personalize it. We could help you set that up if that's something you like. Now this is for you at home, whereas the reminders with Alexa and your Apple Watch, if you're on the go, it can remind you on the go. So this is definitely a reminder system for when you're at home. But it's a really good tool. I really like it. Any
Well,
questions?
this could really help you not to have somebody have to come in and help with medication, which can be very expensive. And it's not technically that hard, but it's just that reminder that people need.
Yeah.
And so that can really help defray the cost of having, companion care come in for a while.
Yeah.
If that reminder alone can, make it work that you take your medications on time.
Yeah, and it can be very specific. Hey, Fred, it's 9 a.m. and it's time to take your meds right now. It can be very it's not just a sound,
Right.
ding, 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 because a lot of times when we have these random alarms go off, we're like, what is that for?
Mhm.
It's like, so this can be very specific.
Can you do those reminders? So let's say, for example, I have it for my mother. Can I do the reminders online, or do you have to be there in person to put in the reminders?
You have to be there in person to put them all in,
Okay.
and then they will just go whenever you tell them
Okay.
to go.
Okay. So it's not like you could on, Sunday night, figure out what you need for your parent for the next day, like go to your doctor's appointment, leave your doctor's appointment, things like that. You have to physically be there to talk it through.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We did have another question, it's not completely related to this, but do you offer or recommend easy, low impact trainers or occupational therapy for normal balance, strength, flex, stamina, etc. for prevention? Prevention's so important.
Yeah, I mean, we can come in the home and do those things. We're technically a mobile clinic, so we can come in and do prevention type situations and set up a home exercise program that would be beneficial to that client. And then if they would like to maybe find a trainer to follow through with our plan, that could be a great idea.
Okay, terrific. Great questions, you guys. Keep them coming. So that's it.
Okay. Smart turns. So this is kitchen safety. Intelligent knobs for gas and electric stove. So that's in case if you forget to turn off the stove or even leave the house with your stove on. Pretty easy installation and setup. And it sends an automatic safety reminder. Gives you peace of mind for the user and the caregiver, the loved one. So it will fit the most stoves, gas, electric stoves, and the mobile features includes sending notifications to the cell phone, your cell phone, or the loved one's cell phone, sending an alert that the stove was left on. That can save you potentially your dinner, your energy. Hopefully that's not the case, but some life-threatening situations. Let me know if you have any questions, otherwise I will move on.
I don't see any questions on that, but we did have another question that said, can a reminder app, is there a reminder app for the smartphone? And yes, there is. So you can put a reminder in for, well, not really reminder, it's more of an alarm, right?
Yes.
Both options. There is a reminder that will pop up on the screen, but then again, the level of alert that it will give you is less so, and a lot of people tend to dismiss it. So the amount of stimulation that you need to get to your meds might be different for different people.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Oh. I am, I've lost it here.
Oh, you're talking about the smart doorbell.
Well, I don't, my screen went away.
Uh-oh.
Alex, do you want to do the doorbell when I try to get my screen back?
Sure, I can talk about the doorbell. So here we have Ring doorbell, which is about $100. There are several other doorbells with very, very similar features as the Ring doorbell. Pretty easy installation. An electrician can do it. I do have one of those doorbells. It does connect. It can connect to your Amazon Echo Alexa device, especially if you have the one with the screen, or it can connect to your smartphone. Does not matter which smartphone. It does give you notifications when you're home, when you're not home. Whenever somebody rings your doorbell, it's also motion activated. It is more than 6 feet. The trick is just installing it at the right angle so it does not get triggered too much. So sometimes it takes a couple of times to adjust the angle of the doorbell so it doesn't notify you every time somebody walks their dog by your house. But you know when your packages are delivered, you know who comes to your door. When they ring your doorbell, you can talk to them without coming to your door. So it does have an input output. It does have a speaker and a microphone. Obviously, without the lock, you're not able through the Ring to unlock the doorbell. It does have it costs about $3 or $4 a month to keep all the recordings, all the videos from Ring. Otherwise, the free plan, it's just live video. So once it sends you a notification, you can just click on it and see a live video of who's at the door. That's free. Then they do have an app which sends you like safety notifications. That does include weather. Your neighbors usually post something on it if they have any concerns in your neighborhood. People do find it helpful. And Ring is just the most common with most people using it, most user-friendly app. Other doorbells provide as good of a video quality and audio quality as Ring doorbell and compatible price. So, and it's high definition. 1080p means good television. So it's not grainy, the quality of the video. It's pretty clear.
I have several friends who have the Ring, the smart doorbell, and I think their biggest complaint is they do see people walking and doing that. So knowing that you can come in and adjust that for them so that they're not constantly being alerted, to a dog walker, is a great thing. I think it makes it less frustrating and just a better use of the product. So it's great that you guys can do that adjustment. Do
Yeah,
you need an electrician to put that up?
yeah, typically it's an electrician, especially if you had, so it has two options of installation, this Ring doorbell. If you had a regular doorbell that was connected with electrical wires and you replace it with a Ring doorbell, the benefit, you don't have to put the batteries in, you just connect it, then you're kind of limited to what angle you can install it to. If you didn't have a doorbell and your homes sometimes come without one, then you can just put it anywhere on the wall. You have full control of the angle of your camera, but the disadvantage. You have to remove it every so often and replace the batteries.
So it's a little bit of an inconvenience
Yeah.
there, but overall, if you had a doorbell already, you already have the electrical, so you might as well just connect and then not have to worry about the battery portion. I'm looking to see if we have any questions, and I don't see any, so we can just continue on.
All right, so this is our other option for medication management. This is pretty cool. This is the Hero Health, and we call this our Keurig of medicine. So it's like a Keurig. It's kind of like it's dropping you a little bit of coffee, but it's really your meds. Super easy. It is subscription based. So it's $29 a month. It reminds and dispenses medications at the predetermined times. It will alert you if you are running low on medications. It can send reminders to you or your loved ones about if you took your medications or if you're running low. And it is programmable to be set up kind of like how you would like it to. So there, if you go to herohealth.com, there is actually a video that will walk you through how to set it up. That is something, if this was something you would like, we could assist in setting up and training you on how to use it. It's very cool. Basically, it has little trays, and you will dump an entire bottle of your medication into one tray, and then it'll spin around. You dump your other, the whole bottle, and then it loads them all up, and then it disperses in a small cup what your morning meds are. And then again, what would be your evening meds, and it will tell you at a certain time. It'll do it every morning. So it would say, here, it's time for your morning meds, and it'll dispense them for you, and it'll keep reminding you to take them. For when Alex was bringing this up this weekend, and what if you're going out of town or things like that. At that case, your options are, one, to take it with you, which I think might be kind of big, or you can just do just a travel pack and take your travel pack when you go. So it's kind of depending on where you're going and how long you'll be gone. But if medications are something you forget, or they just get complicated and you just don't want to do all the work of putting them in the regular plastic med minder, this is a good way to alert you, and it will dispense them for you. So it's the Hero Health medication management. And I think that's it on that. If there's any questions.
I don't see any.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is for up to 10 meds. So, and it can do more as far as reminding you, but it has 10 cups inside. So if you're taking 10 medications, including supplements, it can get pretty complicated as far as what and when.
Mhm.
So, and as far as times and combinations. So it will send alerts, and it also alerts you when you're low and you need a refill, and it will send alerts to cell phones.
Pretty cool system. I know it's a lot, but it's a pretty cool thing if you have lots of meds and it gets confusing, and then there's medication mistakes. If those kinds of things are happening, this might be a good thing to try.
Excellent. If you want to unshare what you're sharing, I think we'll just go through some of the questions that we have here then. And so the first question is, what services does Enabled Living provide?
All right, I can take that one. We provide in-home safety assessments. So we come to you guys, and first we get some medical information, and we also require a physician's order. So occupational therapists, along with, physical therapists and speech therapists, they all require physicians' referrals and orders in order to provide treatment for clients. We have never had a doctor say no. So we figure out what the situation is. You usually will just tell us who your primary care is. We will fax them an order and introduce ourselves and say we are enabled living, we're occupational therapist. Mr. Smith is reporting that he is wanting a home safety assessment and evaluation in order to remain at home longer. And, this is what we would do. And they usually sign that. We do the assessment, we send it back to the doctor, just because that we like to do that, and Medicare requires it. So, and then we say, we're going to be seeing Mr. Smith for 8 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever we think is necessary. And we come in and we get to know you and what's maybe things that you might be struggling with. And we will look at you and how you move around your home and how you are getting around your home. And then we assess the home. We might measure some stairs, or we might look at your entryways, and we'll definitely look at your bathroom and see, is it safe? Are you bathing okay? And then if you just want, if all those things look good and you just want you want your home to be a little bit more technology, then we'll look at that and we'll see, how can this technology improve your life and improve your independence, and we can go from and do that.
So I heard something, I think I heard that you might be covered under Medicare. So under what situation would this be covered under Medicare, and what situation would not be covered under Medicare?
We are Medicare Part B providers. So we bill Medicare Part B for our services.
Excellent.
So yeah, so Medicare pays 80%, and the 20% would most of the time be covered under a supplementary plan that most individuals have. So we can come and do the assessment if you are a Medicare participant, and if you're not, we can charge you private pay, and we can do it that way. But therapists are required to participate in Medicare. So we're not like physicians where we kind of can choose. So yeah, we work with Medicare Part B, which is an outpatient type of service, and they do allow us to go into homes under an outpatient service. So it's really perfect, kind of.
That's excellent. Most of the time when I've heard about people doing an in-home assessment, there's a charge for that. So the fact that you can do that and cover it under Medicare, I mean, that's just using your insurance to the best that you can.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't, I mean, I'm thinking might as well do it now, have it come now before a problem happens. So that's awesome. What about the learning curve in implementing technology in the home? You've talked about this a little bit, but just tell us, because it can be challenging learning something new. Tell us about that learning curve and how you can help implement.
I can take that one. So there is a learning curve, and that's why Jana was saying when we do an assessment, it's not typically a one-time thing where we make a list and we say, okay, here's what you need and good luck. We do come back and we meet you where you are. We see what your needs are and we work with you. We make sure that your smart home is smart, and we make sure that you're able to use smart technology. And it's pretty baffling that it's so intimidating when it shouldn't be. Technology is created for us, not the other way around. And for some reason, in a lot of cases, it makes us feel that, we should match the technology. So we make sure that your phone works for you, your computer works for you, your lights and your home in general works for you. So while there is some learning curve, we want to make sure you're comfortable. We want to make sure that you know how to use those things, and that not your son, not your nephew, not your neighbor next door, that you're comfortable with what you have at home and it's not in a box under your bed.
That
And-
really provides a lot of independence, Alex, because when you buy something and you feel like, oh, I've got to have my grandkid come over and help me, just knowing that you don't have to do that and be embarrassed. And the fact that you will help do all that is great. I know when I just bought a new iPhone, they just gave me instructions on how to download the information and have it come across in my stomach, the feeling in my stomach. I thought, what if I can't transfer this, on my own? And I did have some help. I'll be honest about that. But that feeling that you can't do it on your own is just terrible. So knowing that you guys are there to help is really great. We did have a question. Somebody's asking, how much is private pay? So let's say we're not old enough for Medicare, or we don't want to use Medicare. What do y'all charge per hour?
For an assessment, we charge $180 an hour, just because it's so much. We're going all throughout the home and things like that. For just coming and doing treatments, let me think about that.
Okay.
Because most of the time we do charge Medicare. But as far as coming in and at least doing an assessment and telling you everything you need, it would be $180 an hour. And that would usually take an hour or two.
Okay.
Maybe an hour and a half.
So what is the most useful technology that is implemented? What have you seen can really just change somebody's life?
I think we'll both have to answer that.
Yeah.
Turns. It's very individualized. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's needs are different. Different people have different goals. Some people just want to be comfortable in their recliner, watching their favorite soap opera, and some people want to go trail running. So we have to respect both again, but I will say lighting. I told Jana that before, and it's a little thing, but my goal is, again, for you to be home, not in the hospital. And I think that's one thing that's most likely to keep you home in the long run.
Yes, I would say also having your bathroom set up appropriately. If anything, we can come look at your bathroom. I'm just all about, and I want people to still enjoy like taking a bath every day. Sometimes when it's not safe and it's not set up, then we start neglecting it. And I don't think that's any kind of a good goal. So, and also I think as far as the technology goes, I think the Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch, I think it's a really good step in the right direction as far as, being connected to walk more, and also has that fall prevention feature. So I think that would be one of my other ones that I would love people to get.
I know for me, the fall feature is huge, because so many people don't want to wear a necklace around their neck. It makes them feel like they're labeling themselves.
Yeah.
So if you have the Apple Watch, it has so many other things too, but just that alone could be life-saving. And then the tracking too. I think being able to have the tracking feature, particularly with somebody who might be having some short-term memory, issues. If you have a loved one and you're able to track them, boy, that would take away a ton of fear. If you're at work, they were going to the doctors and you just want to make sure that they've gotten to the doctors okay and getting home. or if they're not picking up their phone, just being able to do the tracking and to know where they are would be huge.
A lot of these products are really also for caregivers. These are also for people who are involved in their parents' life or their aunt's life or whoever, and can help their peace of mind.
Mhm.
So that's also, I think important.
Let me look through the rest of the questions. Oh, it says here, any particular kind of non-slip inner bathtub shower mat to help prevent slips? For example, strips or rubber cups with suction cups. What have you seen out there lately?
So currently, there are regulations on what kind of tile they can put in the shower.
Okay.
If it's an older tile, you can etch it.
Ah,
There is an etching solution, and I can provide you. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but there is an etching solution that you can use for the whole bathroom, because you cannot just cover the whole floor in their entire bathroom with the mats. But yeah, it is important, and there are multiple different solutions as far as strips to put on the floor of the shower. They are all regulated as far as their quality and adhesiveness of what they can sell in the US. Can't tell you one over the other. Go by the measurements, make sure that you don't have to alter them, cut them before you apply them. Because if you do have to cut them, that voids any warranty. So when you buy them, make sure they're as long as the shower pan or the tub. And if you go for it, make sure that they stay versus the ones that you remove. So you don't accidentally bump like with the leg of the shower chair and partially remove it.
yeah. As a realtor, I've seen tile installations, and they are older homes. They probably aren't up to code, where at the front entry will have tile that's super slick, super slick, just where a rain comes and you can't even get up on the front porch. So etching it would be brilliant. That would be a great solution to actually pulling that tile out. That's a great idea. I hadn't heard about that or thought about that before. Here's another question.
The front entrance is not required, but the bathroom, there is a requirement for tile that it should not be slick, and the older tile needs to be etched.
Yes. Here's a question. On any follow-up visits to teach technology after the original assessment, is that still covered under Medicare?
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. Not seeing any other questions. Let me just ask everybody, the participants. We had over 40 people participate today in the webinar today. So we're so appreciative for everybody coming. We have a lot of people who come every month, and I know they think, oh, I'm going to go. I'm not that interested in the topic. And then they end up saying, oh my gosh, that was the best one ever. I'm so glad I came. And that's the way I feel today. The information that you provided is really helpful. Some of my takeaways are the iPhone or the Apple Watch is a great solution, like you said, for a caregiver. And I am a caregiver, and having that on my mom all day could really take away a lot of my fear while I'm working, for her falling. I know oftentimes I'll be out in the field and I'll say, just keep your phone by you so I can call you and check in with you, and I can't reach her and I rush home, because I haven't been able to reach her during the day. So the locating, knowing if they've fallen, and then that the fact that the phone doesn't have to be close by for them to still get texts and phone calls is super helpful and well worth the money, I think. So I appreciate it. I appreciate getting that knowledge from you all. And I'm just going to look in here again and see if we have any questions and answers. Was there anything as final comments that you guys want to share with us?
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Alex and Jana, somebody asked if it's okay if we email the presentation. And so I was wondering if we have your permission to send it in the follow-up email tomorrow.
Oh, sure.
Okay, great. Thank
And
you.
there's links. I know somebody, I think, just asked for a link. There's links to the lighting and other things within the presentation.
Great. So what we do is we do a follow-up email. So we'll include that document in the follow-up email. We also have a link to be able to go to the YouTube and you can watch it later. So if it was something that you want somebody else to hear about, you can go to YouTube. We're getting so fancy. Gosh. Contact information, Mary's asking about that. That should be in the chat. But then also their contact information will be on the PowerPoint presentation. It's on one of the slides in there too. And we have somebody who has said, thank you very much for the presentation. So I have to echo that. It was great information. Anything else that you'd like to say?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't think our contact's in our presentation.
It has your phone number somewhere in there. I saw it.
Okay.
I'll add it in the email too, just
Oh,
so
she'll
that
add it.
it's multiple
Perfect.
places. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And you guys can always reach out to us too. And I think I might have one more question. Yeah, okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And we look forward to your presentation at our wellness event. And it's in September, and we know that technology and the way things are done is changing constantly. So you'll probably have some new products to tell us about. So thank you so much. We'll see everybody next month. Oh, our topic next month. Natalie, I wrote it down. Here it is. It is clinical trials in older adults. Why is it important? So we're going to have Dr. Mark Carlson come and talk. He's with Be Well MD, and he's involved in quite a few clinical trials. And so it'll be interesting to get his perspective about why that's important. So again, thank you everybody for attending the LT Senior Services webinar for June, and we will see you in July. Bye-bye.